Hey guys, it's Monday, and I'm angry. I've been a member of the Human Rights Campaign for about a year now, and I've been on their mailing list for about 2. I got an email a few days ago which included a link to a viral video making its way through the internet. Normally, the Human Rights Campaign's videos do not piss me off, but this one did, and for good reason. The video was a clip of Pastor Charles L. Worley from North Carolina preaching to his congregation at Providence Road Baptist Church. Now, I went to an Episcopalian school for pretty much my entire life. I do not consider myself to be religious, but I am used to listening to sermons. I've heard a lot of homophobic, hate-filled sermons come out of the mouths of pastors like Mr. Worley, but this one really scared me. Really, I can't do the video justice. I'll put a link to it in the description, but I swear to you I am not making this up. Mr. Worley was offended and disappointed that President Obama announced his support for marriage equality, something that I was quite pleased with, because the Bible is against homosexuality, as is God, and if all you out there in the world have any sense at all, you're against it too. Thank goodness Mr. Worley figured out a way to escape the scourge of the homos. Build a 100-mile-long fence, put all the lesbians in there, fly over it, and drop in food every so often. Do the same thing for the queers and homosexuals, and here's the kicker, this is where his sermon just hits the nail on the head for me. Have that fence electrified so they can't get out. In a few years they'll die, because, after all, they can't reproduce. Anyway, Mr. Worley's sermon made me quite angry, and here's why. 1. There is a separation of church and state for a reason. The Bible has been tailored to fit whatever people want to believe. They don't pay attention to the parts about stoning women who aren't virgins when they're married or stoning disobedient children. The Bible is meant to be interpreted by its readers, but it is not law in the United States. The Constitution is. There are a dozen different translations of the Bible, but there is only one Constitution, under which Thomas Jefferson penned the words, "All men are created equal." All men. I want to make that very clear. Every human being was created equal and should be seen as equal in the eyes of the law. 2. Really? A fence for people? The best part of this speech for me, however, was him saying that the fence should be electrified, like we're nothing more than cattle, telling us that we're not worth the freedom that everyone else has. He wants to put us in, effectively, a concentration camp and kill us off. Gay people have been put into concentration camps before, but I'll be damned if it ever happens again. I will stand up and I will fight back with everything I have in me, but I will not be put behind bars for something about myself that I cannot change. 3. Yes, 2 women or 2 men together cannot make a child, but being gay is not genetic. I have blue eyes because both my mom and my dad have blue eyes. However, they are both heterosexuals. Heterosexual couples do not only have heterosexual children, just like gay couples do not only have gay children. We are born every day to couples of every variety. 4. I think the worst part of this video is that every single person listening to him, every single person in that church agreed with him. No one stood up against him. Every single person agreed with the idea that all gay people in the United States should be put into a cage and eventually allowed to die. And that scares me worse than any haunted house or ghost story ever could. It terrifies me that people like that are still around, that they think it's okay to put people behind bars when they haven't done anything wrong. One pastor does not hold all the power, but the hundreds, maybe even thousands of people who pay attention to him and listen to his sermons every week, they hold all of the power, and that terrifies me. So here's what I have to say to all of the people who agree with him, especially to Mr. Worley himself. I respect that you have an opinion. I may disagree with it. I definitely disagree with it, but I respect that it is yours. I cannot stop you from believing in the Bible, nor do I wish to. But the second you started citing it as cause to take away my rights, I got angry. People like you, Mr. Worley, are the reason I was afraid to go to school. People like you are the reason that I used to cry myself to sleep every night, scared that people would find out that I was gay. People like you are the reason kids and teenagers all over the country, with their entire lives in front of them, have committed suicide. To quote Mary Griffith, whose son Bobby committed suicide by jumping off a bridge, "There are children sitting in your congregations. Unknown to you, they will be listening as you echo Amen, and that will soon silence their prayers. Their prayers to God for understanding and acceptance, for your love. But your hatred and fear and ignorance of the word gay will silence those prayers. So, before you echo Amen in your home and place of worship, think. Think and remember that a child is listening." I used to be one of those kids, praying that I would change, praying that God could make me normal, scared that I would go to hell for being gay. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not afraid to stand up to you, Mr. Worley. You may think that we're all weak and pacifists, that you can come for us and we will all go quietly with you, but you're wrong. I will fight you and everyone like you with everything that I have. I refuse to go quietly into the night. I will not let you silence my voice again. I've fought the demons that people like you put into my head and into my heart, but I rose above, and I will never back down. To you and all the other pastors and people in your congregations, you've been warned. You have made a lot of people extremely angry, and our armies are stronger than you ever thought possible. Sincerely yours, a gay teenager.